Happy Wednesday, parents. This is your weekly update for Wednesday, May 7th. So, a couple of things I just want to point out to you real quick. So, up in your announcement or in the announcement bar in this email at the top of the email, you'll see that all the food and stuff from our fundraiser is going to be here this week. And so that'll be available to pick up or hand out on Sunday. So, if you or your teenager sold that, you are responsible for getting that to whoever bought that from you. And there's going to be a sign out sheet in the kitchen. So make sure you sign out that you took that meat, and make sure you only take what you order, because we did not order any extras to try to make sure we can get the most bang for our buck here. The other thing is you'll also see in the announcements bar that you can see how much money is now owed for Fall Streak. All that has been tabulated. And so if you click that link in there, you'll see what money is still owed, and also if you have any missing forms as well. So, with that, here's a word of encouragement for you. So, this is not going to be a surprise to you, but raising teenagers who want to love and follow Jesus is a daunting task as a parent. Like, no one feels prepared regardless of how many things you've read, how many things you've researched, or how much you've studied. Teenagers are all different, and just when you think you have them figured out, it seems like they just throw you a curveball in there. Sometimes I think it's purposeful just to throw you off, and other times maybe it's just who they are. But so we often think when this happens, well, if I can't even understand my teenager, how can I even begin to teach them about God? And so here's some good news. Even after spending time and money going to seminary, which is basically a school for people going into ministry and so forth, even after all that and spending the money to do that, I still don't have it figured out either. And I know that's no surprise to you, but please hold in your laughs. My dad, quick story. When I graduated from seminary or was about to, my dad said, Andrew, of all my kids, I thought you'd be the first to drop out of college. So, let that be a word of encouragement. See, if I can figure out how to get through seminary, you can figure out how to do things too. But even after all that, I don't have teenagers figured out. Uh, but what I do know is that after spending the last 15 plus years working directly with teenagers and their families, their basic needs have not changed, even when their culture changes and even when they make up new words, their basic needs still don't change. So here's the basic needs of every teenager. Number one, they want to feel loved. And so we need to love our kids no matter how old they get. They still desire to spend personal time with each of us, each parent. And so maybe for you, you could take an evening or an afternoon or whatever works for you, and you can go to their favorite restaurant and get something to eat, or maybe go find their favorite dessert. Maybe you can go and just have a night of bowling if that's what you guys love doing. But do something your teenager loves, even if it's not something you love. And do that while you're doing that. Put your phones away and just simply talk with your kid and laugh with your kid. I promise you, don't have any other agenda, but I promise you, if you do that, man, they will feel loved. So they want to feel loved. Number two, they want to feel heard and they want to feel valued. And I know teenagers think that they know everything. I know I did as a teenager. When I was a teenager, my dad even had something for me where he would finish my sentences and say, because I used to always say, I know, Dad, I know. And so my dad asked him, I was like, let me guess, you know, huh? It's just so teenagers, they think they know everything, but we know they not. Spoiler, I didn't know everything as a teenager either, even though I thought I did. And so I'm not suggesting we don't teach or instruct, but what I am suggesting is when they're talking, we actually listen and then respond to what they're saying. Usually, when people are talking, even our own teenagers, we're already thinking of what we're going to say next. We're not actually listening to what they're saying. We might slightly, but not really. So, what I'm suggesting is instead of doing that, take a step back, breathe, actually listen to what they're saying, and then respond to whatever they're saying. You can still teach and correct and do whatever you need to tell them, but take the time to actually listen to them. And third, teenagers want to have a purpose. So every teenager feels this way. And so help them to see that their main purpose in life is first found in living out God's mission here on earth. And if we do these three things, if we help them feel loved, help them feel heard and valued, and we help them have a purpose, those three things, man, they will start to soak up everything we try to pass on to them. And so they might not always say it, and sometimes they might not ever say that they care about us or love us or listen to us or any of those things. But I can tell you this, they are listening. They are watching, and even more, they are wanting you to lead them as a parent. If there's any way I can help you with this, please let me know. So, uh, So for Wednesday night tonight, what we're going to be talking about, we're going to start a series on community. So tonight we're talking about differences, and we're going to be looking at Mark chapter 3, where Jesus calls his disciples, and we're going to be talking about all these different disciples and their backgrounds and their even their failures, and how all these differences in these disciples, Jesus purposefully called them to be his disciples. Says he wanted these 12 to be his disciples. So we're going to be looking at that. And then your resource for the month or for the week down here is actually a monthly resource we send out from the Center for Parent and Youth Understanding. And so this is, I can't stress how good this resource is for you every month. This resource is all about teenagers and their culture, all the news about teenagers, all the newest things that's going on. And it helps us as parents and as leaders and whoever we may be, helps us to understand the world of teenagers just a little bit better. Because as we get older, as much as we think we know everything going on, there's so much going on in the world of teenagers we don't know. So click that link and see more of what's going on in the world of teenagers. We'll see you next week.